to get outside and celebrate the places that help us play, breathe, gather, and recharge. July is National Park and Recreation Month, and we're shining a spotlight on the power of the city's parks, recreation, and cultural services. Join the fun with an outdoor movie and silent disco at Hillside Community Center on July 17th. Then keep the good vibes going with music in the park on July 24th at Pinion Valley Park. Visit coloradosprings.gov to learn more.
Well, good morning, crew. Welcome to July. This is Peaks to Plains weather. I am Matt Meister. You are on Mornings with Meister. And as we transition into July, there is not a lot of change here on our weather forecast for the next couple of days. But we do have a lot going on, and we do have some things to talk about here. So I'm going to jump right to it. We'll get to your social media comments. If you would like to join us here, ask some questions, share some thoughts, you can do so on social media. You can also come on live here, vmix.at/zmSjK. The S and K are capitalized. vmix.at/1RJSL1. The J and S are capitalized. Those are always the same. So put those in your phone as a contact for Peaks to Plains weather. And, when we have things going on, you can join us here. I'm going to get outside early this morning, and I'm going to start in Colorado City, where things are a little bit fuzzy for some areas because of all the activity that is going on. We have quite a bit of smoke across the area this morning. We do have fire weather concerns in the western part of the forecast area. We have gusty thunderstorms in the southeastern corner in the forecast again today. And not only is there a red flag warning in effect today for a lot of areas, especially from the interstate westward, but we've got fire weather watches and red flag warnings tomorrow. And we also have fire weather watches that are up on Friday. I'm going to begin, though, with the Aspen Acres fire. And yesterday afternoon, I know the smoke came into Colorado Springs. I was in Pueblo again. Parts of the area still dealing with this. And the fire got very, very active again late in the afternoon on Tuesday. This morning, we don't see any radar return down in this area. But late yesterday, when Mary and I were doing live coverage, there was a radar return just to the west of Beulah. There were also satellite hotspot detections in this area. We also received photos and video from people looking at this same area where there was some active fire growth. And I'm going to talk about this area here a little bit. So it's just to the northwest of where the latest official fire perimeter was released. And that red that you see was released just after noon on Tuesday. This area had some significant burn again late yesterday. And between the forensic pieces that I've been able to put together and then a source I have, one of which from a helicopter pilot in the area, it seems highly likely that some additional structures were lost yesterday. So this is the approximate area of new growth. Hopefully we get some new mapping updates today. The official acreage hasn't been updated in a while. It's just shy of 30,000 acres. It's probably over that now. Containment is listed at 0 still. And again, that late Tuesday growth there just to the west of Beulah. I do not know how close kind of to the opening of the valley floor that was, but there are homes that are in the hills there. I'm hopeful that it was to the west of some of them. I believe that some of them were lost. And again, we'll keep an eye on that here as we head through the day and wait for official confirmation. But some structures were lost yesterday, again, from a source I have, and it is a reliable source. So here's what's on tap today. Again, like yesterday, as we move through the morning, we're going to see the wind pick up. Now, I'm showing you the gusts here. And so this is on the higher end of things. But this and other computer models have been underdoing the gusts the last couple of days. On the large scale pattern today, the good news is that the jet streak that was representing higher wind aloft in the atmosphere has moved off to the northeast, and the wind aloft is a little bit lighter than the last couple of days. That said, I think we're still going to get some gusts between 25 and 35 in spots along the interstate later on today. There will be some areas over the mountains and along some of the eastern slopes where it's probably closer to 40, perhaps 45. I am hopeful that they won't be as incessant as they have been the last couple of afternoons. Again, it will be mainly out of the southwest. And then as we head into the evening, we'll see that pull back a little bit. So that's kind of on the large scale in the vicinity of the fire, what we are watching for today. Canyon City, looking off to the east here, there was a lot of orange color a little bit ago because we still have some smoke overhead. It's breezy in Canyon already. Wind out of the west-northwest at 14 miles per hour, and for the time of day, the humidity is pretty low. Pueblo West this morning, you can see some haze in this shot here at McCulloch Boulevard, kind of looking down the terrain there, and again, some of that smoke still hanging out across the area here early this morning. And you can see this computer model through the day today is picking up on more active smoke plumes from the fire around Ouray, from the fire off to the west of Leadville, and from the Aspen Acres fire. It should blow off to the northeast again. It may not be as active today as it has been the last couple of days. I think you could agree with me that that certainly would be some good news. So those of you checking in early this morning, Isaac says, thanks for all the great information. You are welcome. Kathleen's checking in this morning, says, yeah, the smoke was really bad yesterday afternoon. My eyes were burning, throat sore, asthma through the roof. So she is praying for the firefighters and the families affected. And I join you in that, Kathleen, as we look at what is on the way here over the next couple of days. You know, Banjo with his barometer, he went with a 5 the last couple of days. Today, he's going with a 6. And that is because we are seeing at least a little bit of improvement in terms of what we are going to see on the large scale wind. It's still a challenge, my friends. There's no doubt about that, but I'm trying to be positive. So I'm going to jump into the short-term forecast here. And over the next couple of days, we see this pattern that's been real persistent for the last few days start to shift a little bit. Now, the pattern continues to be this big high over the southeastern United States. We've had this big area of low pressure that has moved up into southern Canada. That's what's taking the stronger wind aloft and is going to move off to the northeast. There are still several waves back here over the western U.S. These are called shortwave troughs. They're little kinks in the flow here that will kind of rotate through. As those move through, they'll help to mix the atmosphere up, and why I still think we'll see some gusts. So again, on the large scale here, pulling out more than kind of concentrated on the areas dealing with some fire, you can see that the flow is mainly out of the southwest as we head through the afternoon. Sustained speeds will be between about 10 and 25 miles per hour. There are some spots that will have the wind a little bit lighter than some other areas. That's a function of the jet stream getting out of here and the large-scale wind pattern not showing as significant of a signal. But the air that is out of the southwest is still desert air, and it is still very dry. So our dew points are going to be low again, and we certainly are going to be up against red flag conditions. Late in the day, over the far southeastern plains, notice that we get some star fields in the wind flow there. Those are cold pools associated with gusty thunderstorms that I do think are going to be around again today, and we'll talk about those here in a second. Some of that outflow will try to work westward in the evening. You see some southeast breezes for Ordway, for Eads, as we head toward 8 o'clock, and we're starting to see the gusts pull back over the mountain areas. And so it's kind of similar to what we saw yesterday. Temperatures warm up a couple degrees over the mountain valleys today. We add a few more degrees for areas east of the mountains as well. No triple digits today, but that is coming here over the next couple of days. So that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Now, we have seen a little bit of an increase in the low-level moisture overnight and early this morning, thanks to some of that thunderstorm outflow. But we mix that all to the east today, and our dew points end up really, really low here in the afternoon. Probably a little bit overdone by the model here, but you can see out across the far eastern plains, we do have a dry line that develops, and that is what's going to set the stage for some high-based, gusty thunderstorms, particularly in Baca County and southeastern Prowers County. Those storms will get stronger as they move into Kansas. I think large hail today is probably right on or on the other side of the state line. But gusty wind is a big threat in southeastern Colorado, and some of those gusts could be up around 70 miles per hour. So that's a big time concern. And you see those storms developing here in the late afternoon. I think it's probably after 3 o'clock. I think by 7, everything is into Kansas. And again, some of the outflow will work westward here across the far eastern plains as we move into the evening. Tomorrow, no big changes on the way. I do think the stronger gusts are down a little bit tomorrow. I do think the areas that get gusts are down a little bit tomorrow. Again, in the afternoon, you see between Lamar and Springfield, we're picking up on some of the cold pool action from gusty thunderstorms that I have in the forecast again on Thursday. And I think they go a little bit earlier tomorrow. So kind of watching the middle part of the afternoon. You see the line sort of segment to the storms that roll off to the east into Kansas. Definitely wind makers being the challenge tomorrow. I think the threat of some large hail is a little bit lower. And for the end of the week, like we've been talking about in our extended forecast for a while here, keep getting hotter. You see triple digits start to show up. Salida should be in the upper 80s tomorrow. Colorado Springs, we add a couple degrees. If we don't get to 100 in Pueblo tomorrow, we'll do so on Friday as we add heat here for the end of the week. And, the continuation of this weather pattern, but each day has the wind getting a little bit better. And so, again, trying to be positive with that. So that's where we stand right now heading into the holiday weekend. When we come back, we're going to talk about that extended forecast. You are on Mornings with Meister here on Peaks to Plains Weather. Love your yard with a new outdoor space from F&D Landscaping. From a new build to a new project in an existing yard, we listen and give you the yard you want within your budget. Lawns, water features, xeriscaping. We've got the artistic touch and technical know-how to bring the peak of Colorado outdoor living to your home. Reliable, trustworthy. Visit landscapes.com to schedule a free consultation today.
This is John May, General Manager of Petrale Roofing, up on another customer's roof doing a free 21-point inspection. If you'd like us to take a look at your roof, give us a call today, 719-375-8773. We'd be happy to take a look and see the condition of your roof. Petrale, we're a Diamond certified TAMCO installer, which means we can offer a industry-leading 25-year workmanship warranty to give you peace of mind in the storm. Call Petrale Roofing, 719-375-8773. Schedule your free inspection today.
At Phil Long Ford Motor City, we've been around for 80 years. That's like 560 in dog years.
To say thank you to our loyal customers, it's employee pricing for all. You pay what we pay. Our way of celebrating Colorado's 150th anniversary and America's 250th birthday.
American value for American values. You pay what we pay. Right, boys?
That's right. Only at the original Phil Long Ford store.
Grow something beautiful this season. Hydrix Colorado Tree Farm Nursery has trees, shrubs, and perennials that are grown for our harsh climate. Plant smarter with expert guidance and quality plants. Visit coloradotreefarmnursery.com.
I got a text from Isaac Brisk, the public information officer that we talked to yesterday on Mornings with Meister of the SoCo Wildland Management Team. They had a crew in the area yesterday, and he said that their crew saved the house. So that is some good news, and thanks, Isaac, for you and your crew, all the work you do. Here's how the pattern changes as we kind of head toward the weekend here. You can see we've got some storms over the middle part of the United States, moving up through Minnesota, through Wisconsin, through Iowa and Nebraska this morning. It's the same pattern. This is around this big ridge of high pressure. If I get out of the way here, you can see the clockwise flow around that over the eastern United States. Well, that starts to shift westward here toward the weekend and starts to change our forecast just a little bit. Today, we're still bringing in dry desert air, and that continues through the end of the week. As I said, we'll watch those gusty storms in the southeastern corner of Colorado. And so you can see these couple little kinks in the flow here that I already pointed out to you. Might get a couple thunderstorms up across the northern Rockies, a few still riding the western edge of the ridge here. Watch what happens though as we start to head toward the weekend. Here comes the high. It's inching off to the west, slowly but surely, and starts to build to our south. As that gets established through the weekend and stays there into the early part of next week, we do start to see an increase in some moisture. And so we'll start to get some thunderstorms in the forecast, having some clouds around here during the afternoons. We'll start to drop the temperatures as well. We'll also bring a little front in from the east over the plains. And so as we head into next week, there will at least be a chance of some storms around, and you see that high here off to our south. Now, this is not the best position when you start talking about the monsoon that we really usually see ramp up here as we head into July, but it at least is signs that we're trending toward the right direction and something that we certainly want to keep an eye on here. So our extended forecast is all going to be driven by where that high ends up, how the moisture moves around as we head into next week. And you do see that with time here, we get more and more likely to have some showers and some thunderstorms around. With that, we are going to see the temperatures come back as well. That is certainly some good news here as we move through the extended part of the forecast. We need some water. Now, one of the things we'll have to watch for here is the typically slow movement of storms this time of year. And if we end up with enough water around and these storms are putting down some decent rain, we'll start to be concerned about some flash flooding with some of the new recent burn scars in the area. So that's kind of the long-term change here. I think we are more likely to have storms over and near the mountains on most days compared to the plains. That's what the pattern looks like. That's how it often works out with the monsoon. So, we'll still drop temperature-wise in Pueblo here as we head into next week. But we'll have to kind of take the day-by-day specifics here, as those days get a little bit closer. But we've been talking about this pattern shift for about a week or so now, and we'll keep looking at and working on that specifically. I think for the weekend, Saturday is still mainly dry. There might be a couple of storms across northeastern Colorado. Then on Sunday, we'll start to see the chance of some storms around here over the mountains, and the temperatures start to come down as we head toward that pattern change. So that's how everything kind of looks as of now here as we sit on this Wednesday. Cass says this morning, rain will be nice. Thanks for all you do. Sure appreciate that, Cass. Lola says, let's get that wind out of here. Our firefighters need any help. I'm with you. The wind has made it certainly a challenge here over the last couple of days. I'm going to end with this for those of you that may have popped in and missed what I said earlier. Mary and I were doing some live coverage yesterday on the 24-hour channel and on social media when the fire got active on the southwest side of Pueblo County. And it was the northwest side of the fire that we were watching. So we were looking at radar here over the southeastern corner, or the southwestern corner, of Pueblo County. And there was a radar return just to the west of Beulah as a thunderstorm was kind of rolling by right over the fire. And we also saw satellite hotspot detections in this area. We got a photo from the north that was looking at that area, showed the active burn. We had a couple of different videos that we had as well. And so if you do the forensics on where that is and you put the pieces together in a scientific kind of building block pattern, it was the northwest side of the previously released official burn area that was burning. So it's just kind of off to the west of Beulah Valley there. And we don't know how far down or how far up into the hills with specificity that this burn area was. It's probably taken the fire over 30,000 acres now, but I'm showing you the area that had the new growth the best I could. I do have a source that indicates that there were some structures lost yesterday. I don't want to get too specific with that to protect the source, and also because I don't want to I don't have enough information to tell you a little bit more. That's probably the best way to say it. But this is the approximate area of new fire growth yesterday, and something that we'll watch for here. Again, how far up into the hills here was or wasn't this, I don't know. But Middle Creek runs up that way. We had evacuations that were listed for North Creek, kind of all in this area here. Areas that weren't previously evacuated now are. People were struggling to get animals out of the area yesterday. So continues to be a challenging situation as we fight this fire. And again, we are going to see the wind pick up over these areas as we move from the late morning into the afternoon. Jen is asking if I have any idea how much rain Fountain got yesterday. I can check that really quick here for you, Jen, since you asked. Let me do that. Probably wasn't too much given the nature of the storms yesterday, but let me go ahead and look at that. And I'm going to look at Coco Roz. If you want to check it out, you can do so at cocoroz.org. That is a organization of dedicated and trained weather volunteers that have weather stations. The only report in the area, Jen, is 0.03 of an inch, which is not a lot. And of course, we need more than that, obviously, to help with the fire situation. So, crew, that's where we sit early on this Wednesday morning. I hope you and your family have a great day. Thanks for being part of Peaks to Plains weather here. If you would share the app with friends and family, we would appreciate it. If you are finding what Mary and Rachel and I are doing useful, this is a better way for us to serve our community. Mary was mentioning this when we were on live yesterday. One of the things she always thought lacked, being at the station, was the ability to connect with the community directly when there were active weather events happening. And this makes that a lot more possible and direct. And we appreciate that. We enjoy that. We find it helpful. Hopefully what we're able to do with you is a little bit comforting. And so if you would share it with your friends, we appreciate it. When we're doing live things like this, or when we have severe thunderstorm coverage or wildfire coverage, you can always come on with us as well and give reports. At some point, you are going to be in a place that has something happening, and you have information that can help other people. And so you can use these links that I always show to provide here. So one more thing, Jen did say that my ground was pretty wet. Well, Jen, I think it's time for you to get a rain gauge and maybe join Coco Ross. That would be awesome. I guarantee you it wasn't much, though, just with the situation that we had yesterday. All righty, my friends, that is it for me here this morning on Peaks to Plains weather. Have a great day. We're going to be here through the day monitoring the fire. Again, a pattern change on the way as we head into next week. I think that is some good news. We would take some cooler air. We would take some water. May you and your family be blessed today, and thanks for checking in on Mornings with Meister. Have a good one.
For over 20 years, my family, like so many of you, has proudly been part of Broncos country.
Every season, we feel the energy, passion, and commitment that defines this team.
And now, we are honored to be the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos.
Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.